Today is 511th day that I'm here to share lessons I learned, and I'm learning. I hope that also support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Yesterday I started a very, very important topic. We need to live by our values, because when we live by our values, we know exactly where we are going to. And today I want to create a lesson how to choose the values to live by. Because it's very hard when you think, okay, I never live by my values, I just live by default. And now to create your life and make your decisions based on the values. So what kind of values you need to base your decisions? Because not all the values are equal. So today we'll share a little bit more background how to create your values and how to choose decisions, how to make decisions based on your current station, based on what roles do you live by. Because every single person lives a lot of different roles. So I took quite some time to really reflect on roles and values, and every person has different values and different roles. So, for example, I wrote down those roles that, for example, I do at the moment. And I think a lot of times people have different roles. So, for example, leader, this is a role. Faith person, this is a role. You have different values. Husband, father, son, brother, friend, public speaker, salesperson, a financial auditor. Of course, I'm not a father yet, but I know that in the future, when I will be a father, this is the values that I will love to raise my kids. So that means that when you yourself, of course, it could be that you are daughter or maybe your mother. So that means you're able to define what kind of roles do you live on a daily basis. So when you know exactly all your roles, and it might be that you're accountant, maybe the Uber driver, so what kind of values you want to represent working and doing that role? Because one role being a CEO and other role to being a father, values could be so much different. Because you're dealing with someone like is probably 1 year old, you not need the same values. For example, for a CEO could be a vision, a big value, but for when you're a father of a very young individual, you don't need to have that vision yet. Maybe in the future when the son will be bigger, then you of course you potentially could raise that vision, but this is not the main value for a father. So today we'll share all the values that I've written down so far about every single role, because I wrote for every single role 5 values that that role is supposed to represent. So first I wrote leader. So I want to be a leader, and I thought, like, if I am in that role of a leader, what kind of values are really important? So I wrote integrity, vision, empathy, accountability, resilience. So that means every single person who is a leader needs to have integrity, needs vision, empathy, accountability, resilience. So that's how I thought, okay, if I'm in a leadership role, and when I need to make decision, I look into my values, that integrity, vision, empathy, accountability, resilience, and when I make a decision, I say, okay, did I make a decision based on those 5 values? And if I made that decision based on those 5 values, that means that I have a direction. Because a lot of times people make decision and they have no idea how they made a decision. What kind of values impacted that decision? So now I think that a lot of times when you do not know your values, having written down those values and those roles could allow you to make better decisions, because now exactly looking, okay, do I show that I'm an empathetic person when I make that decision? And I think that when you reflect on a decision based on the values, it's much easier to make a right choice. Now, a faith person. Of course, those values could be faith, compassion, integrity, service, hope, because every single person wants to have service, wants to have hope. When you have faith, there's no chance to have faith and don't have a hope. Because when you have a faith, you will have hope. Again, different kind of value set because you are in a different role. Then a husband, of course, then it's different values than CEO or a leader. So that means love, trust, respect, partnership, commitment. For a father, could be responsibility of your kid, love and affection, patience, leadership, and respect. Again, every single role has a little bit different taste of values. And that's why when you come back home from work, you need to forget those values sometimes and put on different hat, different values. Now, Sun is respect, responsibility, honesty, empathy, perseverance. So that means those are values that's supposed to instill in a son or a daughter, because that is very important that they live by those values. Then brother is of course the loyalty, respect, responsibility, empathy, communication. Friend as well, empathy, trust, loyalty, respect, fun, because of course we want to enjoy being with friends. That is all about having that always for good times and bad times. Then a public speaker. That means that you need to have a clarity, authenticity, confidence, empathy, a preparedness. For a salesperson, could be honesty, empathy, persistence, communication, customer focus. And for like financial auditor or accountant, could be integrity, attention to detail, analytical thinking, communication, professionalism. So that means that when you think about your job, what kind of values do you think that you want to represent in your job? And you put it down, those 5 roles. And now I think that we're supposed to be very intentional having those values always in front of us, that you have those values in your mind. When you really make a decision, you remember always those values. And it seems a lot of complicated, all those roles, leader, father, husband. But when you really start implementing one by one and really those making decisions based on those values and understanding what role are you representing now, because a lot of times people are very successful as CEOs, or they are very successful at home, and they're not able to transfer success from one role to other, because I think that sometimes people do not change values, because you need to represent a little bit different kind of person in different role. So I think that is a huge topic, and I will try to explain all those values in the next couple of days, because of course when I explain those big words, those big values like integrity, sometimes it's nice to say that, oh, I do everything by integrity, but what that true integrity means. So next couple of days I will explain every value that are important for me, and I truly believe that it's supposed to be important to other people as well. But today I just wanted to understand that the main topic of today was really roles and values. So it means every single person has multiple roles, and that every single role has different values that's supposed to make decisions by. So first one, decide what kind of roles you want to run, and second, decide what kind of values will represent that role. And if you have that, then you're able to make decisions based on those roles and those values. I hope that really help you to make better choices and right choices that you could impact not just yourself but people around you. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.